I'm gonna make him an offer again with you.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Hello there, ladies and gents. Are you ready?
What's going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guadagnino. This is the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. My guest this week is Fran Capaldi. She'll be here shortly. Class of 2019. We're going to talk about everything from I don't like going to Bethany to I love Bethany to I'm a volleyball coach and kindergarten teacher to now what she's doing currently here through the COVID pandemic and whatnot, and a lot of stuff in between. I'm also going to send it to KJ, because Maple Shades Outdoors, he put out a brand new episode this week, so you're going to want to check that out, like and subscribe. And then I'm going to send it to Harry, the Leonardo DiCaprio of Bethany. If you're in town for whatever reason, go in, tell him you're a chucklehead that watches Dingo Talk. He'll probably give you a free breakfast sandwich. And also, Turners, hey, talking right to you. Sponsor me. We give the Turners away on every show. You want it. They love it. Join us. Without further ado, Fran Capaldi. What's going on, Chuckleheads? My name is Carlo Guadagnino. This is the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. My guest this week is Fran Capaldi, class of 2019. Fran, here's your tea. I know you don't drink tea. Somebody in your family can enjoy that. Turners, if you're watching, sponsor me. Got that out of the way. Fran, we're going to do this the way we do every week. We're going to talk about everything leading up to Bethany. We're going to talk about your time at Bethany. And then we're going to take a break, come back, and we'll talk about everything post-Bethany.
Okay.
So, Steubenville Catholic Central,
Yes.
2015.
Yep.
Let's talk about the recruitment process and you walking through that,
Yeah.
going to college and the next step.
Okay. So, I was like a late college person. Like, I was going into my senior year. Didn't really have any ideas on where I wanted to go. I just knew I wanted to be a teacher. And I was going somewhere, not in Steubenville. So, I looked at Capital, Muskingum, Bowling Green, and Bethany.
Mm-hmm.
I applied to Ohio State, didn't get in. Bethany came into the picture when my sister came to band camp here, and she played the drums, if you didn't know. She came to band camp here, and we were moving her in, and my dad was like,
Are you interested in this place?
What'd you think about coming here? Because, we did softball camp here and everything. So, I was like, yeah, I guess.
It's far enough away, but close enough.
We'll give it a shot. So, immediately, next, Muskingum and Capital hated it. So my two last options were Bowling Green and Bethany. I actually started talking to Dr. Thaker first. I basically, declared, I'm coming in as an ed major. There was no option for, changing my major. Because I was I hate medicine. Not sitting behind the desk all day, teacher. That's what it's going to be. So I came up with the ed department 3 times. I did invasion day and shadowed, fun day and shadowed, and then just kind of visited, talked with Dr. Thaker. Then she was like, you play any sports? And I was like, well, I play softball and volleyball. She was like, here, this is Coach Forsey, talk to Coach Forsey. I kind of had playing softball would be nice,
cool.
But I don't know, if it's a must, whatever it comes down to,
I'm here to be a teacher.
Financially, wherever, my best fit is, if it's not Bethany, it's not Bethany. It won't hurt me. So then I talked to Coach Forsey, sent her some tapes. Coach Connor talked to me and was like, hey, you should come visit with us. Came, visited, did an overnight, kind of chickened out a little bit talking, because I was is softball really what I want to do? So, I decided that I was coming to Bethany too. It was March.
Yeah, you're getting ready to walk across the stage, and you're I just decided I'm down
I just
here.
kind of came home from school, and I decided it in one of my classes, and I looked at my friend, I was like, I'm going to go to Bethany.
When you did a pro-con list, I'm assuming.
I did a pro-con. My dad was like, you really need to decide. So I listed pros of Bowling Green. My dad took me everywhere for my visits.
Mm-hmm. He's a Bowling Green alum.
He went to Bowling Green, so that was exciting. And we went just kind of he was like, let's just go visit. And then I ended up liking it a lot. So I did the pros, and Bethany just had more pros, that department head of the education department already knew me by name.
Yeah.
The coaches were very nice, and they made sure that, like, my big thing was, will I be able to teach and play softball, because a lot of people quit. And they were like, absolutely, we have a lot of ed majors, and that was just kind of like final decision. Plus, like, I wasn't really ready to let go of softball. Like, if it was a must, I could, but it just kept coming back, like, I have another chance to play. So yeah, we get there.
So
We're here.
outspoken Fran as a freshman, or not outspoken
No.
Fran?
Not outspoken at all.
Just
Like, freshman year Fran, totally different from senior year Fran. I cried through orientation, didn't want to make new friends. I had the same friends since preschool. My class was very small too in high school, so wasn't used to making new friends. It was scary. I lived in Cochrane, stayed in my room for like 2 weeks, hated my life.
no, I'm out. I'm done.
Hated my life. Yeah, didn't go to the bar the first 2 weeks. Just stayed in my room. And we didn't have a lot of girls in Cochrane either.
No, I would
Like,
imagine
my
not.
freshman year, there were like 3 rooms of girls, and the rest were all boys and football players, which they were cool to hang out with, but I was like, I'm just surrounded by boys.
So, you're in your freshman year. What kind of changes that mentality, from the being secluded to kind of coming out and
Well, like, we started softball started like 2 weeks into school, like early years. Like, we got kind of 2 weeks to just like acclimate, get used to coming back to school. We had like a softball meeting in the seniors room. I walked in and I was like, maybe I need to quit.
scared to death. Tatted.
Scary.
Ashley Narrigan's full sleeve.
Cassie Weiss tattoos. I was like, I don't know if I fit in here.
Now they're some of your best friends.
Yeah,
so.
they're my best friends. But I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. And then we got into, like, fall ball started. Emily was in my bio class, so, like, she was like, hey, come over, study. Fall ball happened, and then the seniors were just really good with making sure that we felt like we fit in, we belonged. They wanted us to stay. Like, fall ball was rough. Fall ball was kind of like the make it, break it.
If you were
if you were really gonna stick it out. I mean, like, my freshman year I had a rough fall ball. We had mile tests in the morning, and then we go practice at night. And I ran, like, you had to make your 8-minute mile. You kept running, and I ran like 14 miles in 2 weeks because I'm not a runner.
It's just not your.
It's not my forte.
Yeah.
So that was rough, and then hobbling up the hill at Cochrane to class, like, I couldn't walk. So I was really just like, Mom, going home. I don't want to be here. Going home. And then just softball kind of like really.
So we're figuring like 2 months in, you're out. Like, this is you're gonna go home for Thanksgiving break, and that's gonna kind of be the end of it.
Yep.
You get to, let's ballpark it at Halloween.
Yeah.
And things kind of start to.
I ended up moving to CV. I kind of got like the last room. I had some issues, and I talked to coach. She was like, yeah, I'll get you out. And then I was like really excited because like at that time, like, I was going to CV every weekend. I was hanging out with the softball players. Practically slept on Emily Folk's couch every day. But and I started to get to know like the baseball team and softball, baseball, super like
Inseparable.
Yeah.
Basically.
If you got a problem, you're like facing
A
everybody.
lot of people. There was a
Everybody.
lot of people in that group
Yeah.
of.
I know, like they're just like my best friends now.
And there's still, I mean, to this day,
To
it's
this
one
day,
of those.
Like, I go to Joe Hoffman's for like Halloween and Christmas. Kevin and Neil live in Moundsville, so they're super close. I talk to Emily. I go to Maryland all the time to go
And then,
visit.
them two scary ones, Narragansett
Narragansett
and Cassie
Cassie and Traps around here now. So.
So freshman year, you also on the education side, there's that scary standardized test that kind of gets you into other classes. Praxis, for those that don't know, it's the make or break test for the teachers.
I mean, it's make or break for the education department. Like, normally sophomore year, that's when kind of like everyone weeds out in a sense, because oftentimes they just can't. Practice is hard. Like,
I was an education major. You don't have to tell me. I know. I did. I dabbled. Yeah. I dabbled for 3 years. Avoided the test, and it didn't go well.
It's no joke. I took it. They said get an early start, and like luckily my best friend was in West Lip, so she was already like taking it. So like we hitched rides with each other all the time. But I took it like freshman year, spring, and that helped me a lot because like a lot of the practice standards changed for like teaching since my freshman year, so like that gave me some leeway in like getting stuff done. Yeah,
because now it's already checked off. You can't. Yeah. They can't make you go back and take it again.
Well, it was like you didn't like, so there's practice 1, practice 2. You could take practice 2 while you were teaching, and then they switched it to like, no, you have to have everything passed before you teach. So like that's where a lot of people got stuck. I was kind of like grandfathered in because I was like non-traditional backwards.
You were taking education classes as a freshman. And
I was in a class.
We'll get to that senior year where you took religion.
I was in a class freshman year with like sophomores and juniors. It was like an intro to tech class for education, and like my first assignment was write a lesson plan using technology, and I looked, it was fence. I looked and I was like, how do I write a lesson plan? And I like
how'd that go?
I mean, it went fine. He was like, I'll help you, it's fine. And I really leaned on fence a lot because like I was like I didn't take very many traditional freshman classes.
You weren't taking your course. You were
no. Like my course
you
happened
did it backwards.
Way they were just kind of fillers. But like that was like the main goal though of I was like I need to teach fall. I want to teach fall. So like Dr. Thaker was great. Mapped out like my whole 4 years by like freshman year, and I walk in for advising, she'd just be like, Here you go. This is it.
So you get through the fall semester. Freshman year softball is going to start. And then, following that, you're going to then join Greek life and some other things that you did. Let's talk about that first year of softball. What was the adjustment of playing? I mean, because it's something you're used to, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was like kind of like being in high school a little bit. Like that time management I was used to, like getting my work done, maintaining my grades.
Which is a big thing for you anyways. You're the book nerd.
Yeah.
Not a nerd, that's a mean word. It's a bookie. Bookworm.
I'm very
I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Strict about my grades. Like if I ever get below like C, like I'm panicking. If I ever got a bad grade, like I always hid it from my parents. Which is like total opposite me and Gabby.
Me too. I did the same thing.
Yeah. Softball, the freshman year, like I came in knowing like, okay, we're all good, like we're all playing college ball, but like I didn't play much my freshman year, but like that was like my favorite year of softball by far. Just like I was happy to be there.
One of the people that you were meeting and
and I mean we had Boz, Kayla Kelly, TJ, Ashley Bro, and even like juniors and sophomores under that, they were good. Yeah. Like I knew my place. I knew that like I wasn't gonna come in and be a starter. I got playing time. Like I did some designated hitter. I got a few reps in the outfield. I think Kayla Kelly got hurt a little in TJ, so like I got some reps, which like I was happy to be there, happy to be running to the outfield fence and back. Like I was enjoying it. We made a PAC run that year.
And then Mimi Salzer, that lady.
We didn't play Thomas More. Like we didn't have no.
Thomas Moore it was the year before.
No, that was the year after.
I thought Mimi was the.
Well, Mimi was there. Like that was her year. Okay. But like we didn't have to face Thomas More impacts. I don't believe. No, St. Vincent beat them. It was St. Vincent or Westminster that year, and then we faced St. Vincent in the championship.
Okay. So your freshman year ends. you're going to come in. You come in
Mhm.
sophomore year. I'm guessing fall recruitment for.
Yeah, fall.
So that was because it's not as
Mhm.
much. It's time consuming, but it
Yeah.
was Greek life something that was on your radar coming to college, or was it kind of like I'm going to stay away from that and then?
It wasn't on. No, wasn't on my radar. Freshman year was just kind of like softball, school. That's it. That's all I'm doing. But like looking back, like maybe it would have helped me freshman year, especially. I don't remember if it was fall or spring my freshman year, but I think it might have helped like break out of the shell a little bit. But I mean, I was happy when I joined sophomore year.
Mhm.
My friends were in Fine U. A lot of softball players were Fine U, so that kind of like catered to me going. Cause like I was already hanging out with them anyways. So
And even leading up, we talked before the show. Leading up to
Mhm.
kind of even bid day, you were like,
yeah, I
I
was
don't
kind of
know.
like, do I really want to do this? And then I was just like, yeah, why not?
So sophomore year, you're fully out of that shell, and you're starting
Yeah.
to be Fran, teacher Fran.
Teacher
Shout out
Fran.
to Chop.
Yeah, chop.
that was a good look.
But you know, if you just had to live with her senior
I-
year,
You know,
you just hear from across the room, Teacher Fran. Her famous was Teacher Fran. Look what I can do, and then do something that I can't say
Chop,
right
yeah,
now.
Chop-esque.
Chop things.
Yes, chop things.
Chop
that's
things.
that's the perfect description for that.
Yeah, I'll show you after.
So
I'll show you after what she would do.
So, at what point during that, like, so is it sophomore year that you start to get involved in SAC, or
Sophomore year.
so SAC, the Student Athletic Advisory Committee?
Mhm.
Let's go into that and talk
Yeah.
about kind of what you did, and how you got involved.
Mhm. So like, I didn't really know much about SAC going into my sophomore year. Like, I just kind of knew like there was a banquet run by SAC at the end of the year, and they give awards.
Yep.
Because we went freshman year.
Yep.
And then our softball rep was done at the time, in trainer Kim. She was like, "You're gonna show up to a meeting back half, 11 a.m. Don't be late."
And the back half did not look like what you.
Yeah, it
anybody
doesn't-
that comes to Bethany, the back half
No.
did not look like it did.
We had just a long table with just tables piled all around.
And
Yeah.
chairs.
Yeah,
Chairs for
Chairs
days.
to the ceiling. Oh, the back half.
Oh yeah, they got a nice back half now. We didn't have that. We
Yeah.
had boomers.
I was part of that crew, that summer crew. I had to move everything out of the calf.
Wasn't a fun time.
No, I worked for camps and conferences.
Oh, old Sarah Lynn, back in the day.
That was rough.
Yeah, I bet. I worked there too.
She really talked about.
She made it sound really great. It was not
I mean, I
fun.
got money, but
Yeah, the money was great.
I didn't enjoy
No.
shucking
No.
calf tables or mattresses
Anywhere.
every day, and I did it in a boot. I was
Oh.
like that summer, too. Yeah, but SAC. So I went to this meeting. We're like talking about stuff, and like SAC, basically like you're the buffer between academics and athletics, and like if your athletes are having a problem, like you kind of bring it to like your AD
Mm-hmm.
or academic advisors. So I go to this meeting and I walk out secretary. So
First day.
first day, they
there
were
you
like,
go.
"Hey, you want to be the secretary?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess. Sure. I don't really know what this is, but we'll try it out." So then, like, I kind of get like interested in it, especially like November, October. Like you're talking about the legislation they're gonna vote on at the convention, and like the schools get to vote,
Mhm.
because then you have school SAC, conference SAC, national SAC. So like your schools vote, and then you kind of like turn it in to your national staff rep. So then it was like junior year, became president for Bethany, and then I was already going to the PAC SAC meetings, so like that kind of got me a push into. I ended up on like vice president for PAC
Well, yeah, Brian
SAC.
Rose basically told you, here, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
You didn't get it. It's kind of like
Yeah,
the secretary
that's
thing. You didn't get a
kinda-
choice.
Yeah, so we got like the PAC would have 2 meetings, and like PAC SAC, it's just like the presidents of all the other school SACs.
Mhm.
And then you could bring like 2 or 3 athletes. You have dinner, free dinner.
On the PAC, which you can't
Yeah.
beat that.
The place was really good. I can't remember what it is now, but it's up in Cranberry. We would go. So like we would go, PAC SAC, and then the national SAC rep came to one of the meetings. We started talking about legislation, like voting, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, never did, like, I didn't really even know, like, there was a national SAC committee.
Mm-hmm.
And then end of junior year, Brian Rose is like, hey, she's leaving, you're gonna apply for this. It's like, what if I don't want to? Like, I don't really have, like, future in sports. Like, I thought, like, you had to be involved with
Want to be an
sports.
athletic director or
Yeah.
sports information director or
He
something
was
like
like,
that.
no, like, you're gonna fill this out, and you're gonna do it. And it was me and Mark Tishner. So we both filled it out, and then, like, the nomination process takes, like, forever. Like, I applied end of junior year, and I didn't find out until, like, September. So, like, I kind of just, like, I didn't get it. But, like, they're, like, when they do the nomination process, like, they want you, like, diversity, they're looking for male, female, sport, like, race, everything. So I was just kind of like, okay.
Dual sport athlete over here gets
Yeah.
the.
Tennis. But it was just, I just kind of got lucky with it, really. So I get there, and then, yeah, I make national SAC. I get to go, so, like, basically your role, you are responsible for 2 conferences. So, like, our partner was the Capital Athletic Conference,
Mhm.
and that, like, switches every 2 years. So, like, right now, someone from CAC has my spot. But
And then it'll come back to the
it'll
PAC.
come back to the PAC. And now they have, right before I got on, they passed, like, associate reps. So, like, the PAC has somebody on national SAC right now. They just have, like, less responsibilities, but it's like, so they have, like, their voice represented.
And they're
there.
getting the
I think
experience on the
he's
national
from
side.
Franciscan right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But so, like, I got to go to 3 meetings in Indianapolis, and then the national convention, which my first year was in Orlando. That was nice.
Yeah, I imagine.
That was nice. And then the next one was in Anaheim, and we were right by Disney.
Which again,
Yeah.
I would imagine
It was
was
nice. And definitely, so, like, July, November were my favorite, because that's when, like, we dove into legislation, and, like, it's a very different perspective from, like, the national level, because, like, you don't realize when you're in school, like, how much your voice as an athlete matters.
Mhm.
So we get to, like, July, like, we kind of push everything out, and then November, like, in that time, we're sending legislation to the schools, and then they give us our votes. And then, like, we form basically, like, our opinion on our vote. Like, we have, like, a formal vote and, like, 2 hands, 1 hand, like, yay or nay for your conferences. And then you kind of, like, pick who's going to speak on the matter on the convention floor in the business session. And just really, like, form your opinion.
So in your the two years, right,
Yeah.
with nationals,
Yeah.
with the NCAA, one you had talked about beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
before we were recording. You talked about swimming, but you also
Yeah.
talked about how the loosening the constrictions
Yeah.
for social media
Mhm.
in Division III.
So the first one, the big one, was deregulating social media and, like, giving more Division III specifically more opportunities to communicate on, like, Twitter or Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I somehow got nominated to speak on that. Terrifying.
You're doing perfectly fine. Don't even think about it.
Yeah. No, that was terrifying to speak on. I mean, thousands of people, and they were just like, Fran, you're gonna go talk about this. Steve was really happy.
I
about
bet.
it.
I bet he was.
He was, like, waiting, like, yes, this is awesome. They're for deregulating social media. I mean, it was a cool experience. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, getting up in front of presidents of colleges, ADs, senior women administrators, everybody, thousands of people in the room, the, like, management council from the NCAA. You're just standing here. This is what the student athlete thinks, and, like, sometimes, like, it sways what people vote right then and there.
Well, and the good news is nobody was taking a bet in the back of the room on how long it was going to take
Yeah.
you to
Break down in hives. But yeah, it's a cool thing to see, like, my second year with, like, swimming.
Mhm.
I forget what else it was about, but, like, the kid who talked on it, he was a swimmer, so it was kind of like he was speaking from his personal
Yeah.
experiences, and he was like, I don't even know, like, if it was a yes or no, but it was just like, yeah, we want this, or no, we don't want this. Like,
No,
as a swimmer, this is
either, yeah,
or
it was
this
one
is
of the
something that, like, we need. So it was cool to see that being, like, just swayed right on the floor, like, in real time.
yeah.
It was a cool experience. Like, I'm happy after not wanting to do it. I'm happy that I did it.
We are going to take a break.
Yeah.
We're going to send it to KJ, Maple Shades Outdoors. He just released a new episode this week. Get on YouTube. Go check him out, Maple Shades Outdoors. While you're on YouTube, give him a like and subscribe. Also, give me a like and a subscribe if you feel so kind. I'm going to send it to KJ, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about that senior year thing that you claim that an easy class that you got 105 in. But we're going to take a break. KJ, go ahead, take it away.
What's going on, everybody? This is Kieran Dunn, founder of Maple Shade Outdoors. You're currently watching Dingo Talk with my man Carlo. If you're anything like me and you're really enjoying this content, you should like and subscribe his page. While you're on YouTube, you should probably just head over and like and subscribe Maple Shade Outdoors. Check out our page, enjoy some videos, some outdoor content. You might as well hop on Instagram, Facebook, follow us, Maple Shade Outdoors. Now that's enough about me. I'm trying to get back and watch the rest of Dingo Talk, so I'll talk to y'all later.
What's going on, Chuckleheads? Thank you, KJ. Welcome back to the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. My guest is Fran Capaldi, class of 2019. We left off, she was telling us about her time at SAC, both, well, from the Bethany level, then to the PAC level, and then to the national level. Also the nice trip to Orlando and Anaheim that she got to take, and the things that you covered on the floor. We're gonna move right into senior year.
All right.
So non-conventional student, you're now course.
Yeah. Senior year was different. I mean, I was like, fall was kind of like my main beef. I had teaching, play tennis, fall ball, and I had 3 night classes. So, like, I was on my planner during my lunch, like, typing some papers, just trying to make it on time to class.
3 night classes. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think I can do
One
it.
of those was, like, teaching seminar, and then I had 2 other ones that, like, you kind of take while you're teaching.
Yeah.
So, like, I knew it was going to be rough, but it was, like, I don't know, it was a little bit harder because Dr. Thaker left, and I was just kind of like, what do I do?
Because she had already given
Yeah.
you the
Like,
roadmap.
she gave it was there, and then she left and went to Jesuit, which, like, good for her. She's doing great down there. But, like, we had a new head, and I don't like change, so we butt heads all the time. So, like, went through senior year, did my teaching, tennis, like, long days up until
I think we talked about it. It's like 12 to 14-hour days. You're
Yeah, I was
starting
going,
at
like,
6 and
5:30, 6 a.m. We practiced tennis sometimes in the morning, like, if he knew I wasn't going to be there. And then I didn't really get much fall ball because I had class. So, like, my class was right during fall ball, so, like, I'd go to the rec after, get some reps in, or I'd text Boyle or Chapman and be like, hey, can you come hit me balls? Or, like,
Something.
hit off the tee. So that was, like, senior year. Teaching got extended a little. Had a little run-in with praxis. Took the wrong test. Don't take the wrong test.
yeah, make sure you take the right one.
Which, like, I mean, it worked
You
out in
took
the
the
end.
wrong test? What do you mean you took the wrong test? You took practice 1 again?
No, it was like a special ed test. They told me, yeah, you can take either or. And then they were like, no, actually can't. So, like, now I'm just, like, not overqualified. I have a little bit extra in West Virginia. But, yeah, I took the wrong test. So, like, that delayed me from starting. Yeah, and then I go into spring softball. I did my senior project during the spring too, but that was like really my major.
And you were a spring comper, right?
You know, spring comper.
And then you took religion
Classes.
and history and
I only
105 in
needed-
religion.
Yeah, I only needed history, PE, and religion left. Those were the 3 classes I needed. I had to pick up classes just to be full time.
And what'd you get in religion?
105.
Okay.
I thought it was cool.
Anybody else that's watching this, you know for a fact that you didn't get 105 in religion, so you're just as angry as I am. I got a B in religion, and I was excited. Like,
I answered all the questions, but that's because I was like with all the freshmen. They didn't want to talk. That was probably
just raise your
boring.
hand. Give yourself the.
I mean, it was me and Ryan Senka. And we were the only ones answering questions, all class.
With Brooke Deal.
Yeah.
So Brooke's she's just throwing extra points
She
out.
asked like 5 questions. You get a point for every one you answered. So I was like, I'm gonna answer these. I don't think I ever I got an A on every test. That helped me too.
Did you get the paper? Did you get an A on the paper
Yeah,
too?
I
Oh, all right. Site visit? Were you? Did you go to Temple Shalom down there in Wheeling? Or?
I said I went to the Bethany Church. I didn't even go.
Well, at least that's the one thing we can have in common in religion is that I can say it now. I got my degree. You can't take it back. I didn't go to my site visit either.
Coach would make us go for the blessing of the books and shoes, and she'd make us bring our gloves
And cleats.
and bats, and we'd lay them up there and get them blessed. So I kind of knew how it ran, but I just didn't go.
I wrote the paper and
Yeah, I mean, I got an A on it. It was fine. My sister was in the class too. We took a lot of classes together.
How'd she do?
She failed.
Oh, you left her out to dry. Wow.
She tried to cheat off me, and I'd look at her and be like, "You get as much information as you can, but when I'm done with the page, you're not getting me in trouble.
Flipping.
I'm flipping. You better get on my level with this." That seemed like what everybody else that sat at my table. They tried. I'm just just come study with me. Come to the study. I went to all the study tables. Because that was the stigma, religion's hard. So I was I'm not failing this class.
No. It's not going to be the one class that, told you.
Especially not senior year.
No. So, spring comper, you get that extra 2 weeks. Well, you get it's 2 weeks. It's a week to study and then the week to take the test. And I'm sure my blood pressure is going to raise when we talk about you taking your orals after writtens, but let's walk through that week. So the week leading up to comps, or the week for studying.
Yeah. So we got our study guides a month before. They emailed us and was like, "Here's the study guide." I had it done way before. As soon as I got it, I take a few minutes, 30 minutes each night before then, fill it out, define all my terms, make my posters. Poor Kayla Dinsmore. I hung them all in the bathroom. But we had a big wall, so it was just kind of perfect. I was like, these can just stay here until I go and study in Hurl.
Yeah.
And there were only 2 of us comping in the spring, so I didn't really have a lot of people to study with. So by the time studying started, I just hunkered down in Hurl from 8 to practice time. And
then from that point on, you just kind of walked away from it until the next day.
Yeah.
Give yourself that time to relax.
Just decompress.
Go play softball. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Relax.
For the most part.
Yeah. So let's go to the Monday of comps, right? You open the folder, pull the thing out.
Yeah.
What's your first think back? What's your first initial
My first initial. Emily and I sat together next to in comps, so we were laughing at each other the whole time. The clock didn't work while we comped the first day, so the clock was wrong. It just didn't have batteries, so the clock didn't work. So I'm all anxious about the clock not working because I'm the big watch the time while I take a test. I opened it and I was just kind of you gotta be kidding me.
This is what I worried about for.
Yeah, I think don't get me wrong, it definitely challenged me.
See, I just want everybody at home to realize this is a smart person saying this, and I've been saying it for 39, 40 episodes now that relax, comps, take a deep breath.
Yeah, relax,
study,
definitely.
But relax.
Yeah, relax. I just have bad test anxiety. But the worst part, one of the parts was I had to find 30 vocab words. And I was just scribbling by the end because my hand hurt. I was running out of time too. There was 30
I'm getting myself prepared for this the second half of comps.
Yeah, and then I had 2 essays and they were 20 minutes left. I was crap. And I just started scribbling. I probably could have got a little bit better grade on that section if, like, I didn't scribble. I was done. Even after, like, Ashley and I would just lay on the ground outside of Moreland. Was it Moreland?
Why?
No, Richardson.
Richardson,
I took
yeah.
it in Richardson.
Yeah.
I was laying on the ground at one point, so I was just like, I'm done.
So, you bring up Ashley and the other people that are taking comps. Some of us, for those of you at home, you have 3 days of orals. Wednesday, Thursday, and some of us get stuck on either Friday or Saturday in the later half of the day. Fran, when did you take yours?
Took my Wednesday at
What time?
11 a.m.
Yeah. So you were like the third person that was comping that day.
I was worried because they were like, one of you's going to be Wednesday, one's going to be Friday. And I was like, please don't do that to me. Don't give me Friday. And it's like a big deal when the list comes out.
Everybody
when you're oral
knows.
copying.
Everybody knows.
I was like, oral comps definitely stressed me out more than written-ins because, like, I just heard, like, horror stories of, like, Dr. Thaker and Dr. Shepard just, like, hammering people, and I was like, that's gonna be me, because, like, I don't present well, but, I mean, Dr. Thaker wasn't there anymore. I had Shepard, David Wood, and Fletcher, who, like, stole my heart in math when I got him for a class, but, yeah, orals happened. It's getting a little anxious because I heard, like, all my friends outside blasting music. Definitely I heard Wild Boy through the window, and I was like, what are they doing? My mom came.
I'm guessing Alpha Sig was in attendance if Wild Boy was playing.
Yeah, there's some Alpha Sig. My mom made everybody some snacks. She was giving, like, drinks out. Yeah.
It was a good time.
Good time.
So you come out.
My mom was more excited than I think some people.
Relieved.
Yeah.
You're out. Let's go to the following week, which is the other tradition of Bethany. You get senior week. You got the clock tower and pirate game and bar graduation, which at that point was a question mark on what was going to happen. So talk about that week.
Yeah. So I actually, like, mornings of my senior week, I was interviewing for jobs because I already put feelers out. A lot of them called for, like, the week of comps. They're like, we want to interview you this week. And I was like, oh, can't, sorry.
Yeah.
Can we do next week? Like, I'm taking a really big test. And they're like, that's fine. So, like, I'd go interview in the morning and then, like, at night, like, I picked and choose what I wanted to go to. Missed the clock tower tour. I was really happy when they did, like, the virtual one because, like, I didn't get to go.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. I didn't go to Hofbräu House and, like, Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
Just, like, something didn't really want to do. I went to the Pirates game, though. That was fun. I went with the baseball players.
And bar graduation, obviously.
Bar graduation.
You got your bachelor's in mixology?
My diploma from the bar. I was very concerned about that when it closed.
So, you graduate.
Yeah.
What's the summer going towards the first big girl job?
So I was still interviewing all summer. I, like, was offered a job. Not that, like, I didn't want it, but, like, it was at the school I went to. So, like, I was like, well, if something happens, like, I have this.
It's a fallback.
It's a fallback. Like, not to sound, like, negative about it, but, like, it was it. Like,
Yeah, you want to branch a little bit.
I wanted to, like, go out. And so I got my job teaching kindergarten. I was in special ed. I was offered special ed first, and then kindergarten opened, and I was like, yep, kindergarten, that's where I want to be.
You want your own classroom,
Yep.
obviously. Yep.
Want my own classroom.
What's kindergarten kids like?
Wow.
Just little actual humans.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know what to expect with them. I mean, I had a little girl just cartwheel right into my room from the bathroom, and I was like, we're not gonna do that today. Yeah, there's some horror stories. I had an aide, so that helped. Like a teacher's aide. God bless her. I had a kid puke on her, in her hair, all over.
I don't think I could do it.
I don't do puke.
I don't think I could do it.
I looked at her the first day. I said, if there's one thing I don't do, it's vomit.
She's like, okay, I'll take that role.
She was older. I had kids. 3 kids, so I mean, experience.
So
in vomit.
and you're teaching at a Catholic school, right?
Yeah.
So on top of having your kindergarten group,
We went
you
to church.
have to go to church.
Once
you
a
gotta
week.
have the
Yeah.
pews.
I
And,
put not my bad ones, but like the ones who like talk, like get distracted easily. They were all like in an arm's distance. I'd sit in the back row, me and my aide, and then we just kind of put them around us.
and there's a Fran.
Yeah.
I believe you told me beforehand. There's a little
There's
move.
I got 2 moves. I got a nice snap that people compliment me on, and like if they were talking during church or messing around, they just slide it right in their ears and just snap right in their ears, and they straighten up real quick. I got a look.
I can't imagine coming from with Coach Forsty and the other people that
Yeah.
you've dealt with. I mean,
I got a nice look.
and your 5th graders are now, because we'll go into
Yeah.
the now job. The 5th graders are learning this as well.
Mhm.
Before we get into your 5th graders, COVID comes. What was it like teaching the kindergarten kids, through COVID?
Yeah.
Because
It was rough. I mean, just for them not being in school, like I'm not actually like teaching them. Like I got to go through the parent to them, because it's not like I can say like, okay, Google Classroom, log on, and just listen. Like it was really like me telling the parent how to do this, so then they can help their kid. And like some kids were just like not having it, they didn't want to do it. Some were just like, well, like this is boring, and I'm like, we're literally COVID teaching.
yeah, what do you want from me?
It was rough.
So then
I just
fast forward to
Yeah.
the end of summer, fall. You get
mhm.
you coached in middle school. You coached the middle school 7th and 8th grade volleyball
Yeah.
team. And then now you're the head volleyball
had
coach.
volleyball catch out. We were high.
And that leads into a job
Yeah.
interview.
So I was just like looking for something new, like just like financially needed it, was ready to just kind of like spread my wings and go. So like I was just always like looking around, shopping around the area. Hancock County was always one of like my top. I did all my placement there, really liked it. So I saw they had a volleyball job, and I was like, hey, maybe if I apply for this might lead to something. So I got the volleyball job. I was like hesitant on taking it, because I was like, man, like what if I don't get a teaching job? Like I didn't have any like
Then you're
talk
just
of a teaching job yet. So I was like, okay, like I gotta take this, because if I don't, like who knows what'll happen if I don't take it. So I took the volleyball job. Like I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to be a head coach, but like I don't know, I gotta take it. And then like 2 days later, they call telling me like I got an interview I interviewed for special ed in 5th grade. And at that point I was like, I gotta get in somewhere. I gotta take whatever I can get. So I interviewed. It was just like a weird time, because like COVID's happening, like
and you're not sure.
You're
You're going
kinda
back to
like-
class. You're
yeah.
going to be.
And even like districts, like they're rushing around trying to get people in, out, people leaving. So I decided like, okay, like they offered me 5th grade, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Like I gotta get out. I gotta go.
And what field are you teaching in 5th grade?
So like the interview, they were like, I asked, I was like, middle school's like content area. Like you have a specific grade, like content you teach. And they were like, well, COVID, like they're going to be self-contained in 5th grade, so you'll teach everything. And I was like, okay, I can do that. Like I teach everything in kindergarten. I can do that. But like as like I move into my classroom and they're talking like, yeah, one lady's like, I normally teach science. And then another lady's like, I teach social studies. And then the other two like, yeah, we do English language arts. And I was like,
I'm
the math teacher.
So-
Hi.
For those of you at home, this is the lady right here. Cried through her math classes.
Yeah.
High school, college, teaching math.
Yeah.
So you never know where you're going to end up. The
Never
first
know.
one tier could become a job. That's what we're
Yeah.
going to. So how is 5th grade math?
5th grade, tough. I mean, 5th grade's 5th grade. They're kind of like the new kids in the school. It's definitely like non-traditional, because they're excited to switch classes. Then you gotta be like, oh, you're stuck with me all day. Sorry about your luck.
Sorry.
But I definitely like it. I like it. Math, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I know this. Like, I'm recalling it. It's great. And then other times I'm like, I better study a little bit before I teach this.
I should look through this first.
Yeah, which, like, I do that with all
Yeah.
contents, but, like,
Some of it
definitely
is like
math,
right here,
yeah.
and then some of it's
definitely
like,
with math, I gotta be like, okay, like, I really need to look at this a little more in depth.
So, away from teaching, we'll go back to your coaching.
Yeah.
Up and down season for a little bit.
Yeah.
As a first time head coach. There's a light bulb that clicks, and there's a little bit of a run. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So yeah, our light bulb clicked end of the season, city championships. Like, we played city championships against Madonna, and we were in. We played them like very early in the season. That's when it kind of started to roll, but like wasn't really there. Played them in 5. Apparently, like
that's a big
the
thing.
room, like, stigma is like they always get 5. Like, you're never not going to go 5 for the city championship, I guess. So give me a heart attack.
Of course, because
Do it.
why could it?
No.
Why could it be easy? It's not
So,
gonna
like,
be.
first game, like, no, we beat them in 5. Good game. Then we kind of up and down. Won and lost some games we shouldn't have. Then we get to the end, and it's like big city championship, and we just came out and just won 5. But
5 and 5.
I mean, like, I was on like my hands and knees by the end of the game, just like, holy crap. But they clicked. We got it. That was pretty cool.
Then you make
big
a little
deal.
bit of a. Well, that's the first city championship for them since the early '90s,
Yeah,
right?
that was
Or was that
the
the
state.
the next? I'm ahead of myself.
They kind of go back and forth with the city championship, but it was pretty fun. Then we get to like tournament play, and we get to sectionals. We beat a team that we played previously. Beat them in, I think we won 5. 4 or
So your
5
team,
maybe.
wasn't giving your
Yeah.
heart any type of a break.
No,
It
they
was-
weren't giving me a break, but like, I mean, long run it helped out because we played a lot of sets, won some games in 5, lost some games in 5, so like, big thing, mental toughness for me, that really helped. But we got to sectionals, won the first game in sectionals, and then made it to the championship game in like West Virginia, runner up and champion advance. So like, our goal from the beginning was like, we want to make the regional, and they never make it out of the regional. So sectionals, I was like, all right, we're going to regionals. Like, we hit our
we're
goal,
here.
2 out of 3 goals that we wanted. And then we get to regionals, COVID hit a team, so like one team wasn't coming. The rest of the teams who, like, because if one team couldn't go, next team would fill in.
Yeah.
None of the other ones, so like, Glenn, really good. Played them in the sectional championship.
Slides in.
Playing them for regionals, they slide into the championship, which like part of me was like, man, like I wish we could have got that break, but like at the same time, like we played every game we had to, we won every game we had to, like we definitely deserved to keep going. So we beat team, came out just like blazing, 3 sets, then we get to Glenn, and at that point like we're just tired of playing Glenn, but I'm still like, hey, let's go play our best, get some good competition, get ready for state. So yeah, we made a state run to the tournament. Had like slight heart attack because COVID happened, shut down Hancock County, and they were like, no after school activities, no sports, and I'm like, we're literally playing in the state tournament on Friday.
Like right now.
Yeah. So like we didn't get to practice, but like we could go to the state tournament. Weird, but
You cannot practice, but you can play.
Yeah.
I still don't understand this
so we
COVID
went,
thing.
yeah, we went to the state tournament. That was like the first one. That was their first run since like, I believe the 90s.
Yeah.
96, they won after looking at all the banners and like doing my research. They won in 96. So
So it was probably the first time that they had made that type of run
yeah.
in a fairly
Long
large
time.
amount of time.
So it was exciting. It was kind of like surreal. It was kind of like,
Not coming for Coach Klein's job though, right?
no.
She's good at what she does. She coached
is.
for her own club as well. So
Yeah.
you're not just coaching at Weir, you're also doing a club.
Yeah,
So-
BBA with Coach Klein.
And
She can have her
she
go.
can keep what she does.
She's really good at it.
Although I don't know, you got a look and a snap. I mean, you're like one step away from being the new Jan. Maybe, I don't know. No,
No,
you don't think?
no.
Okay.
I feel like I would be a little disappointment.
You're good at the high school level.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't
I don't
want
want to be the next Jan.
to. All right. So we've come to that time.
Yeah.
Why this place? Why Bethany? And then, as the SAC representative and vice president, and Orlando and Anaheim, and all the free dinners that you can eat.
Oh. Never ate so much chicken in my life.
What? So the second question is why Division 3? You can pick which way you do that.
Okay, why Bethany? Do it. Just do it. I mean.
No copyrights.
Yeah.
Look at her shirt. No copyrights.
You can't see it.
No, it's blind. You just took that phrase and said, I'm not wearing it. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, one, social aspect, just you make friends, lifelong friends, lifelong connections. One thing that did it for me was small class size. I didn't want to be a number. I'm the type of person, hands-on. If I have a question, I'm going to ask it right there. I mean, just like everyone knew you by name, whether it was head of the department or Miss Linda. And
even the B&G guys knew you.
B&G. So just like everyone knew each other. Bethany, hello, that was a big thing. And just very like comfortable at Bethany. And Bethany alum are everywhere. Everywhere. I mean,
you can't go anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, there were Bethany, like going to the convention, there were Bethany alum, softball alum from TO, AD, and just they're everywhere. I run into so many people at Weir that are just like, oh, you went to Bethany? I went to Bethany. And
don't ever miss a homecoming. Trust
don't
me.
miss a homecoming. Might be your next job interview.
You have no idea.
But, I mean, connections from teaching, sports. We have a big softball alumni base, so that's like a major connection for us. But just connections everywhere, people everywhere.
And then the Division 3, I mean, as a one specifically, like you brought up the deregulating social media. So again, this is a division that you're not going to get money for. You're getting gear, but you fundraised for that gear. So kind of elaborate there.
I don't know. I think Division 3 is underestimated a lot. I mean, even just like reading through Twitter, like I'm always the one sharing like go D3, go D3. Like no pressure, but like if you're really unsure, like don't snub a D3 coach. Yeah. I mean, competition's outstanding. And if you're really looking for somewhere like academic wise, like you want to play a sport, but like you're really focused on academics, Division 3 is definitely like the way to go. Not saying like D1, D2.
It's there's more of a passion down at D3 just because there isn't that financial boost.
Yeah. You're playing it because you love the game and you're still
putting the same amount of time in. I mean, it's not. I mean,
you're still putting the time in that Division 1 and 2 athletes are. The only difference is there's more focus on your schooling. I mean, I was at the rec hitting balls even after practice. Sundays I'd be over there with baseball players hitting balls. So like you're still putting just as much time and effort. You're just not getting that little boost for playing. That was it for me. Was just kind of like, I'm very academic based. I know I want to be academic based. But
I had to.
You had to.
Well, you've done it like 4 times.
I'm sorry, I had to fix my glasses. But I was academic based, and it was just kind of like softball's a plus, and then I ended up picking up a new sport. So
tennis, where you were pretty good at it too. You and Emily, whether you were happy about being there or not, you almost got into a fight with St. Vincent. What do you mean? So there was a little bit of that.
I'm just far to go from TO2.
We can leave them up there.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd say I was good at tennis, but it was definitely like a stress reliever.
It was just
something I didn't know I needed it in college. It was like a nice stress reliever. Because like softball, I'm like competitive. I gotta win.
Whereas tennis, it was just a racket
It
and a
was just
ball.
kind of like my first tennis practice. Those were
Rough.
only home runs I ever hit. Were tennis pads.
All right, on that note, I think it's time we send it to Harry Chambers, the Leonardo DiCaprio Bethany, if you don't know. He's gotten very comfortable in front of a camera. He's got 2 shirts that he's selling. One is the Mushroom Capital of the World t-shirts, part 2. And the If They Don't Have It, You Don't Need It, which I've been pitching for 9 years, and he won't give me credit for the dang saying on the back of the shirt. It's Harry. I don't expect it. He's got a bunch of new stuff. He's got the same old stuff. If you're an old alumni, breakfast sandwiches, dollar sandwiches, all the specials. Thursday,
Pulled pork.
chicken.
Chicken.
Can't miss the grilled chicken was.
Hot sauce and cheese.
And then it's cold, so he's got the soups. He has a new breakfast. It's biscuits and gravy. 2 orders. You won't be sad. And if you're a coffee person, 25 cents and 50 cents for coffee. It's part of my sponsorship. So, without further ado, Harry Chambers, take it away.
You've just watched another exciting episode of Dingo Talk with your host, Carlo Guadagnino, recorded live in his secret lair in Bethany, West Virginia. Sponsored by Chambers General Store, the longest running general store in the state of West Virginia. Stop by and see us. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 a to 5 p, and on Saturday, 6 a to noon. Get a breakfast sandwich or our new sausage, biscuits, and gravy. Coming soon, another round of Bethany Mushroom Capital of the World t-shirts and new Chambers General Store. If we don't have it, you don't need it t-shirts.
You wanna know by now.